Covey's matrix is designed to help us think through the idea of prioritizing tasks. As students, we have a lot of things calling our attention, and sometimes our innate response to address what's most urgent isn't always going to help us progress towards our academic goals. So this matrix, designed off of Eisenhower's principle, is really designed to help us think about what is urgent versus what is important. As Eisenhower stated, he has two types of problems. The first being important, the second being urgent. And what is important is never urgent, and vice versa. What that means is that oftentimes we tend to put our attention towards the urgent tasks, but in the long term, or if we're thinking about long-term payoff, those tasks don't always move us towards our goals. And as I stated, we're going to think about this in an academic context as a student. And this exercise will really help us think through prioritizing our attention and really meeting our long-term goals of success as an academic. This first quadrant of Covey's matrix, and it's in 4 quadrants, the first is really looking at those urgent, important tasks, those things that demand our attention in the moment and are highly important, most of the time related to health and well-being. So this would be a quadrant where emergencies lie. Those things like maybe a broken bone, an accident, right? Maybe an emergency of some sort, right? Something that demands our attention in the here and now, and if we don't address it, we will not be okay. That's going to be few and far between, right? That's not going to be a ton of things coming up in this quadrant all the time. But what happens for students is oftentimes, as a result of procrastination, our tasks that really lie here, our academics, slip into this first quadrant because we don't prioritize appropriately and because we procrastinate on our tasks. So, as I said, in the second quadrant, not urgent but very important is our academics. It's our papers, our exams, presentations. That really lies in quadrant number 2. And the thing to know about quadrant number 2 is, yes, they're highly important tasks, but usually we have a very clear timeline in terms of accomplishing those tasks. For us at CSULB, that's going to be the syllabus. That syllabus is going to give you an idea of how long you have to accomplish each of these tasks. Now, as I stated before, if you're not prioritizing, if you tend to procrastinate on these items, then they slowly trickle into quadrant 1. And our exam that we knew about for 2 months now becomes an emergency because we didn't address it in the time we had allotted. Okay, so something very important to think about. The third quadrant is our urgent but not important tasks. And this is our cell phone, right? Our phone and all the text messages we get, calls, right? Our social media, alerts. Well, it's messy, but you see what I'm saying. So this not important but urgent, those things that really call your name, right? They're noisy, they grab our attention. And oftentimes they're related to things that we enjoy, so we kind of pull away from what we should be focusing on. For example, we're writing a paper, but we get a social media alert or a text message, and we immediately stop this to focus here. In our mind, we're thinking, well, this is important. I want to get back to this person. We don't consider the fact that if we allow ourselves allotted times to study, we can easily address that need, that person, when we're done, right? So if we're writing for an hour, we can easily get back to that text message in an hour. We don't have to address it in the here and now, but most of the time we do, thus pulling our attention away and making us less productive in the long run. So this is a quadrant to watch out for. This is what's going to come and get you and distract you from number 2, right? The last quadrant, number 4, is not urgent and not important. That's our gaming, our TV, our Netflix, right? All of those things that really are distractors for us. Now, they're fun and enjoyable, hobbies sometimes, right? Things that we love to do, but aren't, again, moving us towards those long-term goals. And in the context of academics, our goals are really to do well in our classes. So talking through this matrix hopefully helped you think about prioritizing your tasks. Reflecting on this matrix, if you do it on your own, will really help you to think through what is most important, that quadrant number 2, which is going to move you towards those end long-term personal development goals that you may have. They're also going to help you in terms of academics, focusing on getting things accomplished in a timely manner so you can put a lot of thought and effort into your items and not have to function in this emergency state of mind all the time. So hopefully you found this a useful strategy or technique or tool. And if you want more help or you want to follow up with a specialist in regards to this idea, you can call or walk into the Learning Center and meet with a learning skills specialist for free. Thank you.